Sagittarius. Kia ora and welcome to the Lightroom Forecast. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for your comments. I always appreciate comments and likes and shares and all of that stuff. This is your reading. These are very general readings. Take what resonates and just leave what doesn't. And do check out other titles that you might find interesting. Sagittarius, so it's for the full moon in Leo, which in Aotearoa it is the 4th today, so technically I guess it's happening tomorrow on the 5th, this full moon in Leo. So let's see, we've had some quite tumultuous events on a local level in the last week or so. Interesting times as always, so let's just see. Let's see. Sagittarius, too many. We'll just lovely fire. Okay. So we come out Sagittarius. Do check out the collective reading too. It might give you a little insight of, or maybe it, yeah, maybe you find it interesting, maybe not. So we're looking here at general energies. We've got the 6 of Discs, wonderful, generous card. We're talking about generosity, not with any idea of expectation, but understanding that flow in giving and receiving, because we need to be able to receive. It's just as important as being able to give freely and walking that fine line. It is a fine line and it's a fine flow. I see it as presenting itself in a very smooth way in your life, however you're seeing that at the moment. And the Thoth deck, it's called Success, because really there is no expectation of return. It is, traditionally a figure with a deep pocket, with a full tank, you could say, Sagittarius. So we have the 4 of Swords, a wonderful card, where we understand where we need rest, when we need it, and we take that because we understand that a lot of information comes to us in our chamber, in our quiet place, where we are not bombarded by sort of free radicals in any form. Though of course we like free radicals, but you know what I mean, free radical kind of white noise. In this truce, we're quite comfortable in the ability to take rest when it is required, because there's something new coming in. I mean, there's something new, like in the physical sense, that's been worked upon or has been worked upon for a while. I think Sagittarius has had this for quite a while, this sort of theme of something new coming through. You have been a queen many times, Sagittarius. I mean, in the sense that you've sat there with a level of distance, right? With a level of distance, doing reviews and looking at the ground that you've covered, because there's a never-ending movement here, even though this queen is the Queen of Discs. We see the ibex. So we've done a review. We've looked at all the terrain that we cover. So it's good you're having a rest. You probably need a rest. Then we have her daughter comes through. So this is something new. this is a new project or a new whatever it is, new work, new whatever, creative stuff, new something, and it's coming through. This princess is pregnant. There is something gestating here, and we see that the concept of time in the seasonal sense. We see that represented here with the trees just about to come into bud. So it kind of speaks for itself, doesn't it, Sagittarius? But let's look at the 6 of discs. Another disc. Okay. We're keeping. This is a really nice feeling in these cards. It's a really nice feeling. We see the 2 of discs, another disc. It's all about the coin, but the coin is all about the people as well, you know, in your life, in my mind. So we're keeping a balance here. There's a wonderful tension in this figure 8. There's a wonderful tension in this card, and that's what keeps it in this sort of momentum, because we're holding that tension, you know, and there's a lot of movement going on around us, but we're managing to hold that. So we are actually perfecting, you know, walking the fine line that is this flow of that 6 of discs. With the 2 of discs, we have the 5 of cups. This is remembering the past. This is something about the past. We understand loss. We understand disappointment. We also understand our ability to shift our perspective. The wonderful cards, the 5s, they're all kind of conflictual, you know, whether it's sort of emotionally or out there in the world or whatever, you know, whatever. But they're wonderful cards because we know that all we need to do is just turn. I see this as a piece of the past, as a piece of your history. We all have that in our history, where we just see, yes, I can change. Okay, so we're focused on that 4 of Swords. So we get some confirmation, I guess, of rest taken. We get the 4 of Swords again. We get the 4 of Swords and the Ace of Cups. So we understand the need, excuse me, to keep our tank full. Certainly at this time. There's a theme, you know, with these particular astro readings, and there's a theme in the collective that we're upping our own personal antes here, or we're elevating ourselves, we're really pushing ourselves a bit. That doesn't mean that we can't provide some rest and respite for ourselves, because that's very useful. It's incredibly useful. And then we have the Ace of Cups. We give that form. I think you're giving it form, and whatever new thing is coming through for you, Sagittarius, there's a lot of love there. There's a lot of love. I mean, in an expansive way, not just directed, channeled at particulars. It's an expansive kind of thing, which is really good. We see it even at the beginning with that 6 of discs. I wasn't really concentrating. Okay, let's look at the Queen of discs here for you, Sagittarius. Yeah, maybe it is quite specific here with this Queen. As I said, you've been the Queen many times. And when I say queen, it doesn't mean male or female. I'm not talking about that. It's like the female principles of the female principles, feminine, or the feminine principles or qualities of a queen. The Queen is an archetypal figure. Anyway, as I said, you've been there many times before, and you've seen this, what this is to you. This is what was in some past reading for you too, Sagittarius. We all have those things that we fall back on in some ways. This limitation, self-limitation, it's purely directed by the self. Often it's illusionary, as we see this figure is not actually bound and can walk away at any time. In that Queen, we understand that. We see where that has impacted what we have chosen to do in the past. And I do see you as wanting to extend yourself beyond that, whatever those limitation is. So let's look at the Princess of Discs. Working hard. Someone's been working hard. I think you've been working hard, Sagittarius. Working hard towards a projected sort of future goal. This does jog the memory on some previous readings for Sagittarius. We've got the Eight of Discs, yes, working away at something and perfecting it. I would say this new project or new thing coming into form, well, it is in form anyway. It just has to kind of pop through. It just has to be ready. It's like, you know, a cake in the oven. You've worked hard for this, at it. You've worked hard. And then we have the Magician taking hold of that wand. This Magician takes hold of the wand in order to, you know, we're translating here. We're working between different camps. We're able to. We're working it. We're working with organisations or working with kind of positioning ourselves within a larger, under a larger umbrella here within your work. I do get that. So the Magician is a great, fabulous card to get. Let's just get a little Brian Proud, Pixie and Fairy, big transformation that just flew out. We've got Death. Yay! It's great. This is a whole, like a lot of things, Sagittarius, a great transformation that happens and occurs many times throughout our lives, but here we see. And things, you know, I just see that Death card, you know, I just see that figure just kind of lifting up the veil. Woohoo! And here it is, this new thing, right? It's pretty fabulous. And what do we get? I think we always get this, don't we, for Sagittarius? Lapis Lazuli, prophetic dreams, releasing anger, serenity and grace. And as I always say, a stone of royalty, Sagittarius. So, on that note, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Do check out the collective and any other titles that stand out for you. At any time, just check whatever else is on this channel. It's all self-generated, so I do appreciate your likes to get these videos seen by more people, and subscribes and comments. Everything is good as we venture through this full moon in Leo. Take good care, Sagittarius. Ka kite.